Untold with me, Auntie Madge. It's another Sunday and you're back and you're glad to be here. Today we have a very interesting topic. It's all about redefining relationships. And with me here today is a friend. She has been here before and I'm glad she's back again. And with no further ado, I'm going to give her an opportunity to introduce herself. Karibu sana, Nyambura.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay.
Hello everyone, my name is Jedidie Nyambura Gishamba, aka Miss G, and I am glad to be back.
Karibu sana.
Asante.
It's a pleasure to have you back.
Pleasure to be back.
And I'm so looking forward, to this topic. It's very interesting.
Very
it's all
interesting.
about redefining relationships.
Yeah.
And for today, I want us to do things different.
Mm-hmm.
I want us to switch sides.
Ah.
Yeah. So today, I'm not the one asking questions,
questions.
but I want you to be the one asking questions.
Gladly.
Yeah, like you being a young person.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want you to be the one asking me questions, because at least you understand more about the young people mindset,
Yeah.
and all that. So I want you to be the one asking questions, and for that reason, I want us to sit.
So, as we have seen, today we are switching sides and we're going to ask her questions because, as you've said before, we're redefining relationships. And so we want to damage our ignorance as the young people, and we want to know what exactly are relationships about. Is it just about the glam, the beauty, looking good together, or is there more to that? Okay? So, Auntie Madge.
Yes, here I am. I'm all yours.
How
today.
are you?
Now nipeleke pole pole.
How does it feel being on the other side?
Interesting, but I love it though.
You love it, yeah?
Yeah, it's a good difference. And I can't wait. To have you now asking me questions.
Yes.
Yeah, and of course, being the one answering, at least get an opportunity to hear what you guys feel when you're on this other side.
So, Auntie Madge, for this generation, we have we're so hyped up when it comes to relationships. Everyone wants to go for photo shoots, together, couple goals, dress the same, unajua wanavaa nguo zinafanana.
These matching vitenge and all that.
Hizo zote. So tell us, is there more to relationships than the glam? Ama it's just about the glam?
Okay, thank you so much for that question. And I'm happy it coming from a young person asking. And of course, yes, there is more to relationship than the glam. That is what like you guys see. Yeah. But behind closed doors, it's a totally different story.
Yeah.
We are living in a society whereby, people are not, like, you don't get that opportunity. Like, it's a taboo to even expose like what you're going through behind closed doors.
True.
So we are living in a generation whereby it is full of lies. Yeah. And what makes me sad most of the times is like these young people, they see like they are busy copying, trying to pick like what they see on the outside, but outside. Behind closed doors, it's a totally different story. And so when they run into this relationship, then at the end of it all, they come to realize it is not like si venye walikuwa nafikiria. Like, it's a totally different story. Uliona, like, you went out there and you saw these couples who are out there, they're going for photo shoot. They are so looking good, babe, honey, sweetie, and all that. Those sweet, beautiful babies, like, they wear like these t-shirts, the queen, the king, and all that.
All that, yeah.
But I'm telling you now, when you go to the reality, this is what the world sees. And this is exactly what the world wants to see.
True.
And this is the picture, like, if you don't have this picture, if this is not what the world sees in you, like, you're not an ideal couple. You're not an ideal couple, a perfect couple. And, that is what you want people to see.
Yeah.
So, as this young generation, so the moment you see that and you want to be like them, and so you get into the reality, you just like get like that shock of your life. Yeah. Now you get into that relationship, and by the time you're getting into this relationship, you don't even know yourself. You don't even know what you want. You saw it, And now, in your mind, you registered like, that is what life is all about.
That is what I'm going to get.
You know, yes. But now when you get into this relationship, you get like a totally different version.
Yeah.
This is where you find that you end up like now having anger issues. You have a lot of bitterness. You have a lot of pain in you because you got into a relationship where you even ended up being pregnant and you're dumped. Now you're all by yourself taking care of a young child. You're a child who needs to be taken care of. And now you're here taking care of another child, you know, and all who are around you, including friends, family members, they don't even want to be around you. You know, you feel disheartened, you feel left out, you know, and so now you come to the reality of life. So to the bottom, relationship, it's not all about the glam. There is more than meets the eye. You know, you will see all these things, but behind closed doors, you even find these are couples who fought the whole night, wamelala wakipigana usiku mzima. But when they wake up in the morning, because they want to look good to the outside world, they will do those mix and match and they go for those photo shoots. But wakishatoa hizo nguo for the photo shoot and they go back home, boom, reality sinks in. But sasa wewe, that is what you saw, and you picked that, and you ended up making the wrong decisions based on what you saw.
So Antoine, let me ask you, since right now you're married, what are some of the, just a few of them, maybe 2 or 3 things, what are some of the things that you wish you knew then, so that maybe it would make things better, or rather like ungekuwa at a much better place? So what are some of the things that you would advise someone before they actually decide, you know what, I am settling? What are some of the things you would want them to know before they actually decide to settle and say, you know what, huyu ndio ule mtu tunakafunga
sasa. Okay, sawa. Number 1, the first thing, the most important thing, number 1, defining yourself. Knowing who you are. Because number 1, I always say, you will never know the one if you're not the one.
True.
You know, so the first thing is defining, who are you? You know, who am I? What do I want for this life? You know, the achievements and all that. You know, but don't be busy out there looking for the one, and you're not even sure if you're the one.
True.
You know, we say it all starts from you. You know, you have to define yourself first. You know, know like what is right, what is wrong. Love yourself enough to know that even when you're getting into it, if somebody hurts you, if somebody does something bad to you, you know, you love yourself enough to realize and to know like, this is not how it's supposed to be. Because you realized most of these young people, they are getting into it so early. You know, you don't even have the realization of who you are. You know, you don't even know how to set boundaries, because boundaries are key component in every relationship. You know, so you don't even know how to set boundaries. You know, you don't even, you know, there's that even personal space in relationships. You know, a time comes whereby you just feel like you want that space. You know, not that like you don't want to be with this other person, not like you guys have differences or anything, but you just need time to yourself. You know, and if you're not mature enough to understand all that, you know, it will be very hard for you to get into it. So to my point of view, number 1, make sure by the time you're getting into it, you have evaluated yourself to know, am I the one? You know, do I know how to set boundaries? You know, do I love myself? Do I believe in myself? You know, in a way that you say like a marriage is for good or bad, yani through thick and thin. You know, regardless of whatever that is going on, you must stick together. And you know, a marriage, it's not like a trial and error. Like you're getting into it, you try, if it doesn't work, and then you leave. You know, this is a place like whereby you be like for a very long time, like for the rest of your life. So you have to be sure of yourself. Like you love yourself enough. Like, you know, you cannot define that other person, and you can't change that other person. There are so many people who go into it thinking like, I'm going to change that person.
Actually, we're going to talk about that.
Like, I'm going to change that person. And there is no way. The only person you can change is yourself.
True.
You cannot change that other person. You're the only person who can change yourself. Number 1, I always tell the young people, the actions of that other person does not define who you are.
True.
You know, it
True.
doesn't
It
absolutely
doesn't.
define who you are. Those are only a reflection of who they are.
Yeah.
And they are only responsible for their actions. And
true.
yourself, your actions are definition of who you are.
True.
You know,
True.
and a reflection of like basically who you are,
Absolutely.
but not that other person.
Yeah.
You know, so the only person you're responsible for is yourself. You. So you cannot go into a relationship in the name, I'm going to change them. Because we say love doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
What hurts are the expectations.
Oh, wow.
You know, love doesn't hurt, expectations do. Because you get into this relationship thinking that I'm going to change this person. You have like these expectations of like this person, this woman, this man, you know, is going to change. But to your surprise, they don't change. Why? Because you can't change them. Changing is a choice. It's a choice that they need to make. They choose, yes, I need to change. And they choose after realizing like who they are is not normal. You know, is not right. And so they make that choice for them to change. You know, so when you now this person doesn't change. Now that is when frustrations comes in. You know, now you become frustrated. So that is why we say love doesn't hurt, but expectations do. Because now when you get into it with a lot of expectations and the expectations are not met, you know, now that is what hurts. That is what frustrates. That is what kills. You know, that is what is destroying so many people nowadays. And that is why you're finding out like the cases of killings nowadays are very high.
Very high.
You know, kila time nowadays ukiingia kwa news like huyu ameua huyu you know, they ziko very high. Why? Because those expectations are not met, so you become so frustrated. And you know, the moment you get those frustrations, anything can happen.
I get you.
Wow.
Hey. Basi, there's just a lot to relationships other than what we actually see. And one of the things that the Bible says is that my people perish due to lack of knowledge.
Exactly.
So I think that there's so many people that are getting into relationships without knowing actually what is happening or how things should be done. And that's why there's so many cases of divorce. There's so many cases of abuse. There's so many cases of, as you've said, killing. And it's just because of lack of knowledge. So now, Aunt Madge, I would want to ask, because again, but there's this other thing that is there, that apart from people seeing relationships as all about glam, there are others that are seeing relationships as the complete opposite. They have already seen that there's so many marriages that are breaking. There are so many marriages that are experiencing a lot of issues. And so they have decided, you know what, marriage is not worth it. You know what, what I'm gonna do is that I'm just going to enjoy myself with this guy. Tukimalizana anaenda nienda na mwingine because I can't get into a permanent relationship. So the question is it all that bad? Isn't there any hope that there are actually successful marriages out there? Should we actually kill the hopes of marriage and say, you know what, this thing completely does not work, and so afadhali tu niingie a relationship for some time and nishanwe, akunanga kitu permanent? Is that true, or is there actually hope for marriage? Is there actually hope for permanent and good relationships?
Wow, a very good question. I'll say this. Of course there is hope. And of course there are a couple, as much as there are many that we can see that are falling apart, there are also many that are doing so well. You know, marriage is either way. And okay, we say life, it's all determined by our way of thinking and of course the decisions that we make. You know, even in a marriage, you know, the way you view things, it speaks volume. You know, because at times, okay, first and foremost, when you're getting into these relationships, you need to understand this is a totally different person. You know, you're meeting from a totally different background, family and all that. You know, and so and of course this person has their own values that they were brought up with, and the same with your values, you know, from totally different family. You're coming to try and merge things between the two of you. You know, number one, I always say like age. Okay, they say age is nothing but a number. But of course, yeah, it is to some case. But now when it comes to like marriage issues, I don't think it's nothing but a number. Because now you just find a young teen girl as young as 18 years, 19 years. You know, at times you hear even 16 years. They're getting married. That's a child. That's a baby. Even their mindset, you know, their reasoning, everything about them is very young. Yeah. You know. And of course, even with dealing with issues, they are going to deal with issues differently. Unlike someone who is good. You cannot compare a 19-year-old girl with a 25-year-old girl. You know, if you got married at 25 and you have a girl who got married at 19 years, regardless of their maturity level. Yeah. True. You know, their reasoning will be different, even the way they pick up things. Yeah. You know, you find a 19-year-old, they will be offended simply because the guy came with socks. You know, he got into the house, removed their socks, na naziacha hapo chini ya kiti. Hiyo ni kitu italeta beef, atakasirika, tantrums and all that. Yeah. But now when you're grown enough, you understand like that is how men are. Yeah. And if it doesn't go well with you, there is a nicer way to communicate. Because of course communication also, it's a key thing in every relationship. True. You know, there has to be communication. And of course understanding that other person's, you know, language of communication. The other thing is, you need to know the definition of that other person, their definition of love. Yeah. You know, because, you know, you go to love them to your definition, and maybe your definition is not their definition. You know, you find that to his definition, coming in the evening, kama amekubebea kama ua, akulete. To him, it's a definition of love. But to you, unashindwa, ananiletea maua, mimi ni nyuki. Unajua, am I a bee? You know, ninakuja kuka, you know, you get my point. So it is also good to understand that your other person, definition of love. Don't love them to your definition, because utajipatanga unagonga ukuta. And that is the reason why you find so many men, so many women nowadays saying, hakuna kitu yenye sijamfanyia, like I do everything within my power to this person. Hapendeki, si ati hapendeki, you're doing it to your definition. But have you ever taken time to like ask them how they define love? Maybe kwake love ni wakati umekuja umemhug. Unaona, maybe love kwake ni wakati umeenda naye jikoni and mnasaidiana. Maybe that is her definition of love. You know, for your man, maybe love kwake ni kwa bedroom. Like when you give it like the way he wants it. That is his definition of love. You know, definition yake ya love ni wakati anaona like you're taking care of, kuna mwenye anataka you're taking good care of my kids. Well, that is his definition of love. Lakini wewe umeneglect watoto, you're busy taking care of that man. And to him, that is not love. You know, so you need to understand language ya huyo mtu mwingine. You know, hiyo kitu moja. So, number one, marriage ni mzuri. Ni mzuri, true. And there is no way I would ever discourage mtu kuolewa. The only reason why I would discourage, it's in the line of age. Age number one. Mtu ni mchanga, ni mdogo, unajua. And of course, values zako, at least unatafuta mtu mwenye, you share angalau values the same. You know, everything cannot be the same. Nobody is perfect. You know, we have our strongholds and we have our weaknesses. And of course, ukishajua weaknesses zake, usikuwa unazitumia as a weapon to silence them when they make a mistake. You know, use those weaknesses zake, unajaribu kuzifanya strength. And of course, inakuwa ni vice versa. Communication. If there's communication, inakuanga iko sawa. You know, people nowadays, they are failing because there is no communication. You know, it has reached a point whereby people are losing hope. You know, even ile kidogo ungefanya, hufanyi. Kwa sababu gani? They are not working. You know, you already have that attitude in you. It's not working. It's not worth it. You know, kutoka all the way nyumbani kukuja, you know nowadays tuko kwa ile generation parents are normalizing dysfunction. You know, you stick in a marriage for the sake of the kids without realizing that you're normalizing dysfunction to these kids. And so when these kids are growing up, they grow up thinking what is abnormal is very normal.
So
when they go out there, they continue with the abnormal.
Yeah.
Unaona? So unapatana na msichana ama kijana, they grew up in a very normal household whereby everything was done together with love and all that. And then you meet a girl who grew up, a boy who grew up in a very dysfunctional home. And they come together.
Yeah.
You see? Yeah. So what is abnormal to the girl, it is very normal to the boy. You know, and of course if they don't communicate, you know, if they you know, they don't come together and you know, and so I am saying nowadays there are a lot of toxic people out there. Where is that? Because they grew up in very dysfunctional homes. You know, and what is normal to them, it's abnormal out there. So no matter how hard wanajaribu kufitin, unapata saa zingine ni ngumu. It is very hard. And so they end up being frustrated. Na ndio maana unaenda unapata kijana ameoa msichana wa watu. Unaona? Juu anashindwa, what else am I supposed to do? Me, I grew up seeing my dad beat my mother and my mother did nothing about it.
So that's okay.
You know, so that is okay. So when I beat her, why is she complaining? Why is she running away? Why is she going? This is normal. You know, and a boy, I grew up seeing my mom insult my dad. You know, and the same thing happens. And so this girl insults this man. And this man is like, what? Why are you doing this? This is not normal. You know, like a video, I don't know if you have seen it, that was trending on Facebook. This mama who was insulting the husband in front of the kids. You know, and it just looked so, okay, as much as the story is running like, he was a narcissist and he drove her to being that woman that she is. But my heart went to the kids. These kids, like, they were taking too much in, and she was using like vulgar, very vulgar language. So my heart goes to these kids that are being brought up, you know, because they're in a very toxic environment, and of course we release them out there with a lot of toxicity, and so when they go out there and they meet now the normal, because they are kids who grew up in normal families, it becomes so hard for them to like grasp all that, and that is why you find like they can't take it, and so they decide, if I can't have you, nobody else will, and so they kill.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So there has been a lot that has been said, and I have captured several things, and the general thing is that relationships actually can work.
Yes.
But it is not something that works automatically.
Yes.
It's something that you work on.
And the fact that you tried the first and it didn't work doesn't mean like you should give up.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know, you can, and then you know, we don't give up. It is not a bed of roses. You know, kitambo tulikuwa tunaambia marriage is a bed of roses. And so you're imagining you're going there into that relationship, unapata kitanda imepangwa roses, kazi yako ni kurekea hapo juu, you know, having all the merry, the fun, bass, sweetie and all that. No, that one and of course, priorities change. Mulikuwa wawili, then kids come. You know, now kumeongezeka. Now the hubby is busy, like now the husband probably busy making sure like their diapers, all those, they're available. You know, he gets busy, and you're busy taking care of this child, making sure ako sawa, ako fiti. You know, at times utakosa time ya ule mwingine, not because you don't love them also, but automatically priorities change based na the situation at that particular time. You cannot continue being the same you were mkiwa wawili, like now when there's a child involved. So with those all changes, lazima at least, na ndio nikasema age inakuanga mzuri, because now with maturity, when you're mature, it is easier to understand na understand priorities changes, because if this guy doesn't go out and work, unaona huyu mtoto atakosa kukua taken care of, unaget, and if I don't beef up like taking care of this my child, kutakuwa na neglect, and it reflects kwa mtu huyu ataki grow up, you know. So without that mindset of like understanding like priorities changes, it becomes very hard.
Wow. So as we have said, my people perish due to lack of knowledge. Relationships out there, especially for young people, they may be failing a lot because of lack of knowledge. But as we have heard, there's so much more to relationships than just the glam. As we have heard, there's so much more to relationships than just what meets the eye. So let us get knowledge. Let us get knowledge. It is possible for relationship to work. As much as maybe you came from a dysfunctional home, it doesn't automatically mean that yours has to be dysfunctional. You can make relationships work. We can believe in marriages again.
Yes.
We can believe in long-lasting relationships again. But again, let us find knowledge. Let us have mentors that will walk with us until the very end. They will guide us and tell us, hapa umekosea, hapa uko sawa. Let's get mentors. Let's get people that will lead us. Let's get people that have gone before us to tell us, I did these mistakes, but don't do the same. I believe in marriages. I believe in relationships. I believe they do work. And I believe that with such people, when they hold our hands, we can have beautiful lives, right?
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
I'm so happy.
Yes.
And I feel like I feel so great. You know?
Yeah.
Me being on the
other side.
On the other side.
Yeah.
It felt good.
Felt good being here.
Difference. A good difference. And of course, I'm so impressed and happy by the way you have asked questions. I don't know if you have tackled every questions.
We have.
And you feel okay.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be here, and of course I know our viewers out there, they have really learned. Yeah, and I'm looking forward.
And thank you so much for giving us your insights, your wisdom, your
Karibuni
ways. Yes.
Wow, wonderful. Thank you so much, Nyambura.
Thank you.
I'm so happy to have you here, and I'm looking forward to next Sunday. I know we'll be back.
Yes.
Here we have more to talk about, to discuss.
Yes.
Of course, and of course to have that seat to ask questions. So, viewers, that is all we have for today. Until next Sunday, this is Teens Untold. Goodbye.